Hey Aquarius, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are checking in on all things love, specifically, looking at past, present, and future energy around love for you. All right, I do have 3 different oracle decks this week and am clarifying with the Sweet Blossom lenormand. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Keep an eye out for all future competitions and all those sorts of things. We have just drawn that yesterday. So if you haven't already seen that, might have been new. Make sure you check that one out as well. But we do upload very regularly on the channel, including once a month for our shadow work readings on the full moons. So definitely worth subscribing and keeping an eye out for all the readings. Okay, Aquarius, I do apologize if you can hear any thunder in the background. A big storm has kind of just started while I'm recording, so I'm hoping that it's not interrupting the video at all, but other than that, we will get sort of straight on into it for you, starting off with past love energy around you, Aquarius. Aquarius, past love energy for Aquarius, please. Past love energy, what does Aquarius need to know in regard to past love energy? Okay, we have embrace coming through, embracing what destiny has in store for you. So this is an interesting energy because it kind of does let us know that everything that you have been through is kind of for a reason, that it's been part of your destiny to have been through and suffered, unfortunately, a lot of the things that you have suffered when it comes to love. We also see confusion coming through. I feel like for a lot of you, you are getting, you are currently receiving a bit of clarity on why you have been so confused in the past, why you have needed to go through these experiences, why that has been part of your destiny when it comes to love. So I feel like you are currently getting a little bit of clarity about that. But the confusion in the past here, all seekers of truth experience confusion, asking the divine to provide the answers that you need. So I feel like this is something that you've actually been learning or have already learned. And it's all got to do with, truth and seeking truth and understanding that you are somebody, Aquarius, that, you just want to understand how things work and why this had to happen and all that sort of stuff. That it's part of, wanting to clear the confusion that you're feeling, wanting clarity on things. But we'll have a look here, clarify that energy for you, Aquarius, clarifying the past energy for Aquarius. I do feel as though for some of you, it's kind of like there's been a lot of confusion with a past connection about how you even feel about that past connection, or is that even as important to you as what you thought it was? And then what I'm sort of seeing here is we're starting off with the fish. Okay, so that is Gemini's card, but I do quite commonly link that with Aquarius as well as Pisces as well. But the fish there, ultimately, it does talk about money. It's your sense of abundance and embracing the wealth that life has to offer. That is coming through, though, with the mountain, followed by the ring. Okay, so we kind of do see a very clear picture here that in the past, money has created obstacles or delays with relationships. So, that there may have been a specific relationship in the past that has caused you confusion because you're kind of like, well, was it really that strong a love relationship if money is what broke us? Is the kind of energy I'm getting there, that, if issues about money is you've kind of questioned yourself and felt confused about the whole ideal of, is love enough, and why did the material break past love? If there was really love there, why was money such a problem? That kind of thing. So I do feel as though there may have been issues around people in different brackets. You may have even felt as though somebody was a bit of a gold digger kind of energy in the past there as well. And it created some problems, some blockages in the relationship that obviously it feels as though they maybe weren't overcome. It does feel like it's a past connection, not necessarily anything that we're still connected to. And just sort of feeling a bit of confusion in the past about, well, hang on, was there really as much love as I thought there was if, the material side of that connection is what sort of ultimately ruined the connection, so to speak. So I just feel as though it's left you, a little bit questioning about why was that so important and why did that create such an issue, all those sorts of things. But we'll see how that's leading through into the present energy. Aquarius. Present love energy for Aquarius. Present love energy for Aquarius. Oh, interesting. We have I'm sorry, an apology coming through here. We also have the divine feminine. So for some of you, this is specifically an apology coming through from a feminine. I will obviously need to clarify this. It may not even be an actual female. It may be the fact that somebody is actually getting in touch with their divine feminine energy. We all carry like layers of masculine and feminine within us. Feminine is where we hold our emotions and where we hold things like love. I just saw my lights flicker. Please do not let the power go out while I'm recording. If we do, I'll just pause and continue, as we need to. But, it does feel as though this person, I'm not necessarily feeling that they're going to be approaching you with this apology to your face, so to speak. I feel as though they're recognizing that within the energy, that they are the ones that effed up. And, I do feel as though there is an apology sitting in the energy, and it's kind of like they're recognizing that and accepting the role that they played here, and the hurt that they caused. That's kind of coming through. But, they're starting to nurture themselves and try to access the divine feminine rather than, unevolved feminine energy. And it is leading them to realize, the things in their life that they have not nurtured with love. I do feel as though this is a person that's not you. For some of you here, majority of you, it feels like it's not you. Current love energy for Aquarius. Please clarify this energy for Aquarius. Some of them, they will come forward, which is quite interesting. Others of them, maybe not. We have the fox coming through first. So this person seems to be recognizing that they were... This is a few things, okay? So for some of you, this person is recognizing that they were a bit of a player, that they played you, that they played games with you. For some of them, they're realizing that they were too independent and they weren't, being an equal partnership. They weren't being a part of a whole. They were being themselves and a little bit selfish, immature. They were focusing on what they needed to survive, not what would help the both of you survive. They do seem to be, recognizing this, and sort of recognizing that, when we play games, the only one that ends up getting hurt is themselves. And that's why there's this apology sitting there, because they're kind of sort of starting to take personal responsibility for their selfishness and their their game playing behaviors, their sneakiness, and all those sorts of energies coming through. For some of you, they may have been quite sneaky and underhanded and manipulative in some kind of way here as well. We do have the crossroads coming through, so a choice or a decision as to whether they're going to come forward with the rider here. So they do seem to be trying to make the decision as to whether they are going to come forward and apologize to you, or whether they don't need to actually do that, whether knowing that they're sorry for that in their own self is enough. Obviously, flip this if necessary. If you feel like this is you, obviously take it that way, because we do see a decision being made as to whether we are going to actually, approach or bring good news. I've changed. Good news. I've recognized that, I'm taking personal responsibility and I know I effed up, kind of thing. Just clarify that further, please. Just clarify that further for Aquarius in the present energy, please. And if this person does come forward, what result do they want to achieve by apologizing to Aquarius? Okay, so further clarifying that, we do see the cross coming through. So there's kind of an energy of penance. They're feeling responsible. They're taking personal responsibility. This is affecting them spiritually, and they kind of know it, that it's holding them back from growth and healing within their own self. That this is, that they need to, they're starting to have a bit more faith in themselves, in something greater, in having faith in what you offered them in the past, and they kind of, took advantage of you in some way. For some of you, with what I've seen and the money issues in the past here, and then that fox energy, they really may have shortchanged you and taken from you when it comes to, money and abundance and things like that. I really am picking up a bit of a gold digger kind of energy there, that they're kind of, it's kind of like this person is, they're doing their penance now emotionally for that, and they're realizing that they were in the wrong, and they're kind of wanting to atone for their sins, and that seems to be why they're wanting to apologize here. What they want to gain from apologizing, if they do, because I'm not seeing that they're definitely, like, we see free will right in the mix there with that crossroads. It does feel like kind of, it is kind of destiny that this person will approach you, but at the moment we're seeing free will taking hold there with that crossroads. So it's really a choice that they're trying to make. I do feel as though that for a lot of you, though, they are probably going to come forward, because and they will choose to come forward in some kind of a way, because they kind of, like I said, it feels like that's their destiny to try to atone for their sins. I keep getting that same atonement kind of energy. But, the reason, what they're wanting to gain from apologizing, if they do apologize, we have the masculine and the child. So they're wanting a fresh beginning, a brand new start, a new adventure with the masculine, which would be you in this case. We do see them as a more feminine energy. We did see the divine feminine card for them coming through there. So, they want to gain a new beginning, a fresh new adventure here with the masculine. For some of you, it may be because there's a child in the mix between the two of you as well. So they're trying to, have some sort of fresh new start because of the child, if that is the case for some of you there. Okay, but looking at the future energy for you, Aquarius. Future love energy for Aquarius. When I'm looking at the future energy, I do try to sort of stick within a month or so. So try to stick to the near future rather than the far future. Aquarius, future love energy around Aquarius, please. What does Aquarius need to know in regard to future love energy? Let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. So you don't need to control this. You kind of can't control this, to be honest. It's kind of up, it's this person's free will that's in the mix at the moment. So it's kind of up to them whether they're going to apologize or not. You cannot force that in any kind of a way. You cannot refute that in any kind of way. If they need to apologize, it doesn't mean that because you can refute that in a physical sense, and say, look, I don't want to speak to you, leave me alone. But on an energy level, you kind of can't refute that. If that person is putting that out there, that's up to them. That's their spiritual atonement-ish. You need to let go of the need of control over this situation, that you can't control the way that it goes either. So if you allow this person to apologize to you, you kind of need to just let it be how it will be, rather than try to gain a certain outcome here, because I'm just sort of feeling that you both maybe it does feel as though you've both kind of you've moved away from each other's energy a fair bit here, and so you're just not kind of like aligned at the moment. I'm not feeling like um, this person seems to be a little bit more aligned with their own self still, but in a different kind of way. They're rather than being selfish, they're more in regard to they need to heal and grow, and you're on your own projection. So I do feel as though in the near future, trying to just let this be how it will be, rather than pushing it a certain direction or another. We do see retreat, so definitely try to not push the situation in any specific direction here. You do need to retreat, and maybe even say, look, it says it's time to disconnect from the world. So that does sort of let me know that the most control and way that you can have over this situation is to just turn your phone off, to not answer your door, block, not answer the door, retreat, and just don't deal with this situation at all. Seems to be, maybe the biggest thing for you at the moment, and maybe just some time for you to actually just sit with yourself and focus on yourself, and find atonement within your own self, because for whether it be for things that you may have done wrong, or whether it be for just putting up with this ish, or not seeing through, because we do see a lot of confusion in the past for you, where you're kind of like, what's the truth of this situation? Did this person even care, or was it just my money that they wanted? I don't need their apology to find peace with this within my own self, and forgive myself for being in that situation, or not understanding that situation, or not being able to clearly understand what exactly was or is, or whatever going on there. So definitely maybe in the near future some time for you to focus on yourself, and not worry so much about this particular situation. But we'll clarify that as well. Clarify the near future energy for Aquarius. Near future love energy for Aquarius. So we have communication from the heart. So regardless of, this communication, like, once again, you can't control whether, like, it does feel like it is heartfelt, and I feel like you will understand that. And it's kind of, we have the anchor here as well. It's you kind of get to choose here whether you allow this anchor, whether you allow this communication, knowing that it's heartfelt apology. You choose to whether you allow this to keep you stuck in the past energy of this connection, and allow it to run its course in that sense. You also choose whether you look, I've already been through this. I've dealt with this. I'm secure in my own self. I know I can rely on myself. I know I can rely on my own love. I don't necessarily need your love communication to, make me at peace with the situation. So it's kind of like an option here of, being very steady, though, being very steady with the way that you approach this, rather than, the need to control this in any kind of way. Allowing that, just allowing it to happen the way that it needs to happen, and just knowing that you've got this, regardless of where this goes from here. You've got this, Aquarius. I just want to look into for you, Aquarius. Like, does this lead to a reconnection, or is Aquarius focusing on new love? One card for reconnection, one card for new love for Aquarius, please. For reconnection, we've got the tree. Okay, so I feel like this is, it's not necessarily a reconnection. This is all just to inspire your own personal growth, to teach you sort of how to take care of yourself and put yourself first, to grow and to heal. All right. When it comes to like potential new love, we have the dog. Okay, so we do see, you know, there is potential here for new relationships, new loyalties being laid, new people, basically new friends, new connections. The dog is a companionship, but it starts off with a friendship. This is the card of friendship and loyalty, and so I feel as though for a lot of you, that if there is anything new, it's either starting off in a very platonic kind of a way, or this could also just be some of you not even worrying about love at all at the moment and focusing on, you know, just spending time with friends and people that are truly loyal to you, and that you already know they understand you and you can trust them, and that they're going to stand by your side no matter what. So for some of you, you're kind of not even worrying about love. You're worrying about healing and just personal growth, rather than delving back into anything from the past, is what I'm kind of picking up there. But, you know, at the end of the day, the anchor is, you know, just be secure in yourself. You've got this. You've got this. You really do. No matter which way it goes, you've got this. All right, so that's what we've got for you today. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all again soon.